Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share a heartwarming story with you titled, The Great Chubby Cat Workout Plan. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Of course, if it's not your style, feel free to skip it, no hard feelings. Now, let's begin the story. I love my two cats dearly, but lately, they've started to look more like round pillows with legs than graceful felines. Every time I look at them lounging on the couch, I can't help but laugh. They used to chase toy mice and leap across furniture like tiny jungle panthers. Now, their idea of exercise is slowly rolling over when the sunlight shifts to the other side of the floor. One of them, Machi, even grunts softly when he sits up, as if life itself is exhausting. The other, Choco, prefers to lie dramatically near the food bowl as though waiting for snacks to magically appear. I knew something had to change. Their once sleek and shiny figures were now delightfully round, to put it kindly. When they walked, I could hear a faint thump-thump-thump across the floor. It wasn't unhealthy yet, but I didn't want them turning into two furry watermelons. So, I decided it was time to get creative. I, their devoted human, would become their fitness coach, no matter how lazy or sassy they were. That evening, I sat down with a cup of tea and whispered my plan dramatically, as if unveiling a secret mission. Operation Fit Kitty, I said aloud. Machi yawned. Choco blinked. Clearly, they didn't take me seriously. But I was determined. Tomorrow, their exercise journey would begin. The next morning, I rolled out the cat toys like a general preparing for battle. Feathers, jingly balls, laser pointers, and even a motorized mouse that zipped around the floor. Machi and Choco stared at the collection with a mix of suspicion and mild interest. Come on, boys, I encouraged, waving the feather wand dramatically. Time to burn some calories. For about 10 glorious seconds, Machi pounced. He even batted the feather twice before flopping over like a potato in defeat. Choco, ever the strategist, sat nearby watching his brother's futile effort and clearly decided it wasn't worth the energy. Instead, he gave a soft meow, as if to say, "Nice try, human, but we prefer snacks." Not ready to give up, I switched to the laser pointer, every cat's weakness. The little red dot danced across the floor, onto the wall, and back again. Machi's eyes widened. His tail twitched. Then, bam, he launched into action. Choco followed, half-heartedly at first, then with more enthusiasm as the chase heated up. For a few minutes, my living room turned into an adorable mini-gym. But as quickly as it began, it ended. Machi collapsed onto the rug, panting dramatically. Choco sauntered to the water bowl, took a sip, and sat down with his back turned to me, clearly done for the day. I sighed. Training two lazy cats was like convincing toddlers to eat broccoli. Still, I wasn't discouraged. I tried setting up cardboard tunnels and paper boxes. I hid treats inside toys, hoping their curiosity would spark movement. Slowly, something wonderful happened. The cats began to play more, not because I forced them, but because they found joy in it again. Machi discovered that chasing the motorized mouse was surprisingly fun, and Choco became obsessed with climbing the shelves to spy on me from above. My living room became a playground, and laughter filled the house every day. After a few weeks, Machi and Choco were no longer just my chubby little clouds. They had become more active, curious, and, dare I say, fit. Their round bellies were still adorably soft, but they moved with more energy and grace. Each morning, they now waited by their toy box, ready for the next game. Watching them made my heart swell with pride. But somewhere along the way, I realized something bigger. It wasn't just my cats who were learning to play again, it was me too. In the rush of daily life, I had forgotten how important it was to move, laugh, and simply enjoy the moment. Taking care of Machi and Choco reminded me that exercise doesn't always have to be serious or structured. Sometimes, it's about finding joy in small movements, turning chores into fun, or sharing a moment of silliness with someone you love, even if that someone happens to have whiskers and a round belly. The cats taught me patience and consistency. Change doesn't happen overnight. Some days, they just wanted to nap, and that was okay. Other days, they surprised me with wild bursts of energy. The secret, I learned, was balance, allowing rest, celebrating small wins, and always making time for play. Now, when I see them sprinting after their toys, I can't help but laugh and cheer. Go, my fluffy athletes, I shout. Machi wiggles proudly. Choco struts like a champion. And as they rest side by side afterward, purring softly with contentment, I think to myself that maybe life is just like this little fitness journey. Sometimes lazy, sometimes lively, but always better when filled with love, laughter, and a bit of movement. The story of Machi and Choco, the two chubby cats learning to play again, reflects a common pattern in modern life. Many of us, like those cats, fall into routines that make us comfortable but inactive, physically, mentally, or emotionally. We get caught up in work, technology, and responsibilities, forgetting the simple joy of movement and play. Machi and Choco remind us that taking small, playful steps can bring back our energy and happiness. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel drained or disconnected, but joy often lies in small actions, stretching in the morning, going for a short walk, playing with a pet, or even laughing with friends. These simple habits not only improve our health, but also strengthen our connection with life itself. Just as the cats needed a little encouragement to rediscover fun, we too sometimes need to motivate ourselves to break out of monotony. The key lesson is that change doesn't have to be big or serious. It just has to start somewhere. By finding pleasure in small movements and moments, we can bring balance, lightness, and a playful spirit back into our everyday lives.